Now, we ought to get a burden about some things. We talked about that last week. A burden to grow closer to God, a burden for our family, a burden to restore broken down things in our lives. Without that burden, I believe it is impossible to develop a consecrated life. If there is no burden, there will be no consecration. There's no purpose, there's no desire, there's no drive. But when that burden is created, there's a need that develops, a seeing of a need to be consecrated for God. When we see that consecration comes because of a cause. Every Christian should live a consecrated life. We see from God's word this morning that we're called to be consecrated. We see how to be consecrated. How do you live a consecrated life to God? And then we see the results that are recreation, moving from common to sacred. And just the average anymore is not consecrated. May we move a step farther. May we move a step farther in our Christian life this morning to be consecrated Christians. Lord, I'd ask you please bless the message that is from your word this morning. I believe it's a message that you would have for your people in today's day and time, looking at what's going on. He wants to make that which is common to be sacred. That's what we're looking at this morning. Consider the life of Nehemiah this morning in this matter of consecration. Nehemiah was just a common man. He really was. We get this idea that because these men are in the Bible, they are some type of superhero Christian. If you went back in time, you would not find Nehemiah, that tells me he had a prestigious position. Now that position does not come by just chance. He's looking for a cupbearer. He walks down the road and he sees Nehemiah on the side and he says, I want you to be my cupbearer. That is not how it worked. Nehemiah, thine ear be attentive to the prayer of thy servant and to the prayer of thy servants who desire to fear thy name, and prosper, I pray thee, thy servant this day, and grant him mercy in the sight of this man. What is he saying? He realized, God, you have a plan for me. Now this was after days of prayer, work above all else. He may still be the cupbearer. He may still be serving in the palace there, but his pursuit would be God's desire. He changed his pursuit from being a personal success to God, what is pleasing to you? And what do you want with my life? It was no longer all about prosperity for him. Look at what he says in that verse, the end of chapter, or verse number 11. He says, I want to prosper, but not for his cause. He's about to go up to the king, and he knows God has a will for his life. God, prosper me in the cause that I'm about to do for you. It was not natural for this man, this Jew, to become consecrated.